Next up at UFC Vegas 77, we have Albert Duraev taking on Jun Yong Park. Albert Duraev is 16-4 overall, 4-1 in his last 5, coming off that decision win over Chidi Njokuani. He's taking on Jun Yong Park. He's 16-5 overall, 4-1 in his last 5, riding a 3-fight win streak. Duraev is a nasty wrestler. He's got good takedowns, very good top pressure, very good ground and pound. He sets up his Greco-style takedowns with leg kicks and cage bullying. Pretty straightforward game plan, right? He's just going to come forward and get that done. It's pretty hard to stop him from doing that. He's going to continue to pressure, continue to change wrestling. He's not going to break from that cycle. He's coming off that very close win over Chidi Njokuani where he did have 2 takedowns and 4 minutes of control. You may say, oh, but he was knocked out by Joaquin Buckley. He was. But they had some gym history going on
There's
there.
a doctor stoppage.
I call those knockouts. It was a TKO. I call TKOs KOs. Anyway, he was TKO'd by Joaquin Buckley, but they had some gym history there, and which could have messed with the psyche there. And Joaquin Buckley is a much more dangerous striker than Jun Yong Park. Jun Yong Park is a well-rounded guy. He's got a nice jab, good cage control, solid setup, solid takedowns. He's actually pretty good everywhere. Amazing nowhere, like what we talked about earlier. He's a jack of all trades.
Master with none.
He doesn't have the big one-punch KO power. He doesn't have, wild submissions. And yes, he is coming off that submission win over Denis Tululian, but that's very different than being this like dynamic grappler that could just throw something up and get it done whenever he wants to. He does have a solid striking differential of about 5 to 4. He averages 2 takedowns of his own per fight, and he has plenty of cardio. Jun Yong Park's the more well-rounded fighter here, but Albert Duraev is much better at the one thing that's going to matter in this fight. I think Albert Duraev is going to get the takedowns. I think he's going to get the control. Jun Yong Park is not dangerous like Joaquin Buckley to crack him or to put him out or to bust him open. So I think Duraev grinds out what is most likely a very boring win, but I think Duraev gets it done. And I'm just watching the line movement here because he continues to become a bigger underdog. And as soon as I feel like it's hit its pinnacle or the peak, then I'll probably throw some money on the money line for Duraev because I think he's going to get this done. What do you think, Jakey boy?
Yeah, this is an obvious pick. This is Alonzo Menafield last week when I told you guys I have no idea why the fuck he's an underdog against a guy like Jimmy Crute. That was the most obvious lock of the week play of all time. And I literally could have easily done that. And I literally was like, nah, it's too obvious. Let me go something a little bit more extreme. It's going to be the same thing this week. This is a very obvious play for Albert Duraev because he is the better fighter. I mean, I think he's the better overall fighter in the striking, in the wrestling, in the grappling. You look at the level of competition. You touched on it. Buckley, Chidi. Those are much different fighters than, Jun Yong Park came in and finished Joseph Holmes. In that fight, he was kind of getting lit up a little bit on the feet by Joseph Holmes. Got out scrambled by Joseph Holmes. Joseph Holmes ended the first round almost like in a full mount situation against Jun Yong Park. Then comes back and submits a guy like Denis Tululian, who, by the way, was my 10th win for my lock of the week streak. He beat Jimmy Pickett in that fight, but he's not a level guy like Albert Duraev as well. And Duraev does have the wrestling. He does have the stand-up. I wish he would use his wrestling more. I think the reason why he lost that Chidi fight, or he beat Chidi? It was a split decision, right?
He beat Chidi. It was a split.
Right. But he could have been a lot more dominant in that fight if he would have wrestled more because he was just trying to stand and bang with Chidi. And even against a guy as dangerous as Chidi, who's been knocking everyone out, he still did fine. I mean, he still did fine in the striking. I don't know. I have no idea. I know that he's coming off back-to-back finishes, wins, Jun Yong Park. He's a very durable guy. He probably will make Duraev work in the takedowns, in the grappling, off his back, try to win some scrambles. And maybe there's a situation where Duraev hasn't been wrestling a lot. Now he comes in wrestle heavy, gets tired, and Park is able to reverse and maybe win the next couple rounds or whatever. But I don't know why Duraev is the underdog in this matchup. I think he is the overall better fighter, and I think he should dominate it. I mean, this is an easy lock of the week, but he's not going to be my lock of the week. So,
yeah, we agree. So, are you going to bet on him? Do you have a bet on him?
I believe I do. I think that was the first bet I placed. Let me make sure.
Yeah, I'm just using the line. I mean,
I do have a pretty. I think I bet more than what I said as well. Looking at this number.
I'm drinking my own champagne here because I am literally just watching the line movement tracker. I don't update it. We pay somebody to update it, but I'm watching the line movement tracker, and I'm just watching it get a little wider, and as soon as it starts to rebound, bang, I'm throwing on Albert Duraev because, I think we agree here. WeWantPicks.com. It's only $10 a month, and you too can have access to the line movement tracker. And it's fights like this where it's huge. And maybe not this specific fight, but when you have your own opinion, your own thoughts, you have a direction you're leaning, and the line's doing something else, well, you can use that line movement tracker to keep an eye on it and watch what's going on there, and then go ahead and jump on your spot, or maybe even jump off if it's going the wrong direction. But it's only $10 a month to unlock everything. $7,700 in DraftKings. I think that's solid money, especially if we're going to get the takedowns at control time. He's an underdog. You need underdogs in your DraftKings lineup. So I think that makes sense as well. And with that same $10 at WeWantPicks.com, you unlock everything you've ever needed for DraftKings, including a lineup builder.